In the insect world, there are a wide range of creepy, brutal, weird-looking creatures. However, the one for me that tops them all is the praying mantis. These motherfuckers are vicious. These are the kind of insects that make you truly question how God could exist. This thing is built to destroy and will do so effectively and efficiently. But first, some interesting facts about the praying mantis. Now, apparently there are over 2,400 species of praying mantis out there, and these motherfuckers are worldwide in both temperate and tropical habitats. They have triangular shaped heads with these terrifyingly creepy bulging eyes that look deep into your soul and suck all the feeling of joy and love out of you, and you question what life really is all about and if it even matters. They also have a flexible joint between the head that enables them to swivel their heads 180 degrees, which is a very efficient way to hunt. You may be asking, Stephen, why are they called the praying mantis? Well, if you look at the way they position their arms, if you want to call it that, it looks like they're praying, which is a beautifully ironic thing, considering that these motherfuckers are vicious. Now, their colour also can vary from green to brown depending on the habitat that they're in. They have a type of vision called stereo vision, which is a binocular vision, which again gives them very efficient, great eyesight for the type of insect that they are. And the weirdest thing about them, in my opinion, is that they have one ear located on the underside of their belly, which is really weird and random. One fact most commonly known that a lot of people know, which is the most fucked up one, is that in some species of the praying mantis, the females enjoy what is called sexual cannibalism, which occurs after mating when basically the female eats the male. But look, let's be honest, right? Man to man, okay? Most men out there, if we were in a situation where, we were told, listen, I'll bang you, but you're going to die after, how many of us would take the risk? How many of us would do it? 90%? 99%? 99.999%? I think a lot of us would. But it does, I have to say, it does bring a whole new meaning to post-nuclearity. Anyway, praying mantises can be found on every continent except Antarctica. They're actually a really good natural pest control in agriculture because they eat so many other insects and it keeps the kind of pests at bay, so crops can be grown efficiently and effectively without worrying too much about the likes of locusts, etc. But this is where it gets super interesting. One of the most impressive things to me about these murderers is how unafraid they are of anything and will take on anything no matter what the size or the adversity, and they will fight to the bitter end without fear and without mercy. Now, praying mantises are carnivorous insects that primarily feed on other insects and small arthropods, and they are very fucking good at doing this. The way they basically do it is they do a stalk and ambush approach where they will stalk their victim, find the right moment, and then attack. Now, their camouflage actually allows them to blend perfectly into their environment and move undetected. They can also move at lightning speed, and because of their excellent binocular vision, they can spot movement from a decent distance away from where they are. And their pair of front legs have spikes on them that allow them to be super efficient at grabbing and pulling the prey towards them. And the most fucked up thing about them is, as soon as they pull the prey towards them, they start munching away on them. Now, you might be thinking, oh, maybe they try to kill the thing first. No, praying mantis will eat you alive. They do not care. They will eat you while you suffer and slowly die, and just hope it ends. If you have that intelligence as an insect, which I'm sure they don't. It's fucking rootless. And it's impressive, but it's fucking rootless. At this point, you're probably thinking, well, what kind of insects do they eat? Well, generally speaking, it kind of depends on the habitat. But as a general list, here's some of the things that they do eat. So, crickets, grasshoppers, locusts, flies, beetles, butterflies, moths, ants, bees, wasps, and spiders. That's just to name a few options that these motherfuckers love to devour. Now, it's an impressive range of insects, and you could argue that a lot of these insects would fight back pretty hard, which they do. And it's impressive that the praying mantis just goes all out no matter what. But I wanted to focus in this video on some of the animals that they go over that you'll be shocked to hear. So let's get into it. The first one that absolutely shocked me was the fact that a praying mantis will take on a lizard. Now, as you can imagine, right, a lizard is pretty fucking big compared to a praying mantis. And you might think, 9 times out of 10, praying mantis probably loses. I'm not sure the exact statistic on that, obviously, but they don't always win against the praying mantis. But do you think the praying mantis gives a fuck? Fuck no. Like, if you look at this so far, you would think that the praying mantis is done for. You'd be wrong, though. Like, look at that speed. The lizard could not react fast enough, and now the praying mantis has clung to him, pushed into him, and what is he doing? He's eating the fucking thing alive. He's eating a lizard alive. This is an insect eating a fucking lizard alive. Like, what the fuck? Like, if you're not impressed by that, then good luck to you, because that is insane. That is insanely impressive. If you think the lizard's impressive, I got another one for you that's going to shock you. You ready? Snakes. No, I said it right. Snakes. These fuckers love snakes. And again, you might think, well, a snake is pretty good. A snake is pretty fast, but not as fast as a praying mantis. And the praying mantis does what the praying mantis does best. Pulls them in and starts eating them alive. Once the praying mantis has its grips on you and starts munching away, you're pretty much done for. And even something as big as a snake is done for. Now, there is one animal I did want to mention. A praying mantis versus a scorpion. Now, looking at these two guys, I actually find the praying mantis more terrifying, which goes to show how much they freak me the fuck out, because scorpions are pretty deadly as well. And now, in this case, the praying mantis does not win, but he puts up a really good fight. And it's not until you see it get hit with a second sting that it really starts to go down. A few minutes after the second sting, it's game over for the praying mantis. But the reason I wanted to show this is because, like, the praying mantis just has no fear. Does not care. Does not care. And the also a very impressive thing is, like, it took 2 stabs of the scorpion sting to kill this thing. 2. It's like Rocky in there, just all out, going to war. But unfortunately, in this case, as I said, the praying mantis didn't win. But still, like, come on, you have to admit it's super impressive. Now, there's other types of prey they go after, like, which are fairly big as well, I should mention too, like a mouse. Mice are pretty much killed by everything, really, but it's still, like, super impressive. Like, if you watch here, like, look how quick he is to grab the mouse, and then he just starts eating it. Like, he's not going to be able to eat even, like, a tenth of that thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's super impressive. Like, how the fuck? I just don't, like, it's just insane to me. And I might sound super excited because I'm just so surprised. Was not expecting this when I was researching this. So I think they're so fucking cool, you know. The final one I wanted to mention in this video is the praying mantis taking on the murder hornet. Now, hornets in general are generally considered very, very aggressive and super dangerous. And even to humans, if there's enough of them, they can cause some serious damage. And when I started watching this, I was expecting the hornet to put up a fight, but if you watch here, like, the hornet's just gone straight away. Like, the praying mantis was so fast and just, like, grabbed them, and that was it, and straight away just munching them, eating them alive. Just eating them alive. Like, what a ruthless little bastard, you know? The hornet had no hope. Like, absolutely ruthless. There's just no way around that. It's super, super impressive, you know? One thing I will say, though, it's super creepy watching the hornet just getting eaten alive. Like, that fucking mantis isn't going to stop until that hornet's pretty much completely eaten, you know. It's fucking crazy, you know. Like, can you imagine, let's just imagine for a second, right? Let's just go into imaginary land. Like, imagine you're the hornet and, you know, you get caught by this big monster with big greeny things, like, looking down at you with its big fucking bulging eyes, like, you know. Imagine how terrifying that looks under a horoscope. In fact, let's look that up. What does it look like under a horoscope? Oh my fucking god, that's terrifying. That's like a million times worse than I thought. Oh fuck, I'm gonna need a second. But if you can imagine that thing just devouring you and just your whole life just slipping away as you just get munched alive, and you probably think, you know, when you're getting eaten alive by one of these things, well, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, look at that thing, that makes sense. But I think it goes to prove yet again that there's no fucking God, because there is no way, I refuse to believe that God would create such an evil, efficient, crazy motherfucker than a praying mantis. But I think, for me, just to finish up the video, the most fucked up thing about the praying mantis is that it has no issue eating things alive. Like, it just, no problem at all. It will just devour right through you. It does not care. It could not give a flying fuck. Even if it can hear the screams of the insects, which I'm sure it can with that ear on its underbelly, like, it doesn't give a fuck. And also, another thing to mention as well is, I may have mentioned sexual cannibalism, but they also do general cannibalism from time to time. Like, if food is scarce, they will eat their own. No bother at all. And in fact, if you watch this video here, look at these two praying mantises fighting each other. Like, look how vicious they are, like, you know. And then what happens by the end? You guessed it, one eats the other. It's like it's so ingrained in them that if they fight something and win, they have to eat it no matter what it is. And look at that, just munching away, doesn't give a fuck. Doesn't give a flying fuck. So if there's any sort of information about the praying mantis that I did not share, please feel free to let me know in the comments. You know, if there's any interesting facts that I miss, I'd love to hear, because it seems to me like these crazy bastards probably have a lot more to them than what I've mentioned. Or if you're someone that perhaps maybe has a praying mantis, you know, let me know. What's it like? What do they do, you know? They just sit there and you just feed them live bugs and watch them devour things all day, you psychopath. But that's it. So this is actually my 50th video since I started making the videos back in November 2021. So if you're someone that's subscribed to the channel recently, or if you've been with me since like video 25 or video number 1, video number 2, video number 49, maybe this is your first time being here. Either way, thank you so much for watching my videos and taking the time. It really does mean a lot. Like you know, these videos obviously aren't the easiest to make. They take a lot of time, and so the fact that anyone will take the time to watch them is, I will never not be appreciative of that. Every single view counts for me, and although it's a small channel, it is slowly growing and it is making some progress. So hopefully that momentum will keep going. Maybe by video number 100 I'll have, you know, I'll hit the milestones needed to monetize the channel someday in the future. Yeah, I hope you learned something new. I hope you learned something interesting. Hope the video was entertaining, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks so much for watching, guys. As always, I will see you in the next video, which will be video number 51. So until then, as always, peace out.